I'm Dane, and this is the story of my '73 Ford F100. Oh, I'm Dane. I'm standing here with my '73 Ford F100. I was 14. My parents wanted to help kind of go 50-50 on the first car with me. And my mom ended up finding this truck, at the dump. Some guy was doing dump runs with it. She offered, asked him to see if he'd be willing to sell it. And yeah, he gave us a pretty reasonable price because he was just doing dump runs. Didn't really mean anything to him. I guess it was his father's truck. Dr. Ford was the name of the dude, so I'm kind of the second owner. Me and my dad, when I was 14, he wanted to give me like a little project to kind of work on. So the whole goal was to get this truck like pretty dialed in by the time I was 16, so I'd have a good daily car. And we would just do little things like tune the carburetor, and I got my seat reupholstered, did the carpet, kind of made it a little cleaner. But it was a pretty clean truck originally, and yeah, I drove that around until I started working here. And then Eric Ute gave me the opportunity to do what I wanted to it and gave me this spot in the shop. So that's kind of where my journey starts. I got this truck pretty bone stock. It was a typical farm truck. I mean, there's nothing really done to it. And since I was 16, I had these ideas of dropping on the ground, doing some air ride, possibly doing some motor work, having the motor rebuilt, and just getting it like pretty nice. So I didn't really want to touch the paint because that's a whole wormhole, and I figured the paint was pretty nice, so let's keep it that way. It gives it kind of a farm truck look. But yeah, I talked to Eric when I first got here, which is about like almost 4 years ago. I was telling him how I wanted to airbag it. That was like the main goal, the only thing I really wanted to do. So we looked around, and we distribute for Fat Man. They do a lot of front end stuff, so I got a Mustang 2 front end. That was kind of the start, and that did a lot. And then from there, you got to do the rear, which on these trucks, the frames are pretty straight, so you got to do massive C-notches, take out the leaf springs, throw in a 2-link. Yeah, the front end's kind of difficult. The reason people don't really airbag them is they got the twin I-beams, and that's not easy to work with compared to like a C10. They don't really have those, so it's a lot easier to lower. So we started off with the Fat Man. So you pretty much got to take apart the whole front end, pull the motor, pull the wires, pretty much everything down to the frame. And then you got to level your truck out, and then cut out the old cross member and all that shit. Get it pretty gutted, and then you can slap on the Fat Man and kind of go from there. It's a whole bunch of instructions and stuff, but right now it's all in and it's looking really good. Got the front end sitting where I want it to. And then after that, there's no clearance on the inner fenders, so I had to make some, and I bead rolled them, and it kind of gives it a cleaner look. My whole goal is to kind of hide the wires and just have a motor sitting in here, look a lot cleaner. This whole build was just supposed to be airbags, and it's kind of turned into a bunch. It's almost a full build at this point. Yeah, that's kind of the front end. I got that all dialed, and from there, I'll walk to the back. Once you get the front end kind of dialed, you got to work on the rear section. So I had to take off the leaf springs, pretty much pull the axle, everything out. And then Jeremiah, who also works here, he designed these C-notches on here that would give me enough clearance. And right now I'm running our prototype 2-link, which we're probably going to end up selling and putting on trucks if they want it. So I was just feeling it out, and it's awesome. I get 15 inches of travel because we moved the airbags to the front instead of in the back of the axle, which is usually what people do. So that gave me a lot of room to go up and down. I had to notch the bed out because obviously it didn't work. So I cut out the tubs to the point where I think it's good. My goals from here would probably be to throw the tubs back in and mock them up to where I want them, and then I got a bunch of sheet metal work to do, make it look nice. Interior's kind of done. I did that when I was probably 15. That was one of the first things I did do because the seat was all torn up. I mean, it was a farm truck. Motor and tranny were kind of getting old. When I first pulled them out, I came to the decision to just have them rebuilt, which wasn't really the plan, but I'm glad I did it because now it will be more reliable. Might as well just do everything while I'm here. After my truck bed's kind of dialed and where I want it, the next goal, which I got talked into, is going to be powder coating the frame. I was just going to spray it with some primer. It's like a black primer, but Eric talked me into doing powder coat, which will last a lot longer. It's what we typically do to the frames that we're working on. So while that's going out, Eric also talked me into painting the top of my cab. A lot of the clear coat's peeling off, so probably gonna do some cool metal flake and candy and all sorts of stuff since we can actually see the top. After it's all done, I kind of plan on just cruising it, enjoying it, having fun. This truck's been in here about a year now, and summer's coming up and I really want to cruise it. I'm in a car club, the Alley Scrapers, and we try to do like lots of cruises and car shows, so if I can get this thing done, it'd be really nice. It's a whole different truck now, so I'm pretty stoked. It's not at all what I really intended on doing, but it's a lot better. I just had simple plans of just dropping it a little bit with the airbags, and it's gone to the point where it's on the ground. I'm gonna be tail dragging and scraping and sending sparks, so it's pretty cool. In a nutshell, it's kind of the story of my 73 Ford F100. There's a lot more work to be done, and I'm sure you guys will see it on part 2.